Just thought I'd run through a few little things on the hurdy-gurdy for you. One of the things is when you first start playing, or any time you start playing, if the crank's at 12 o'clock, it's always turned away from you. So that's like clockwise from the camera angle. That's the first thing. And on the wheel, it's coated in rosin, so you can't touch it with your fingers, or the first thing that people want to do when they see hurdy-gurdy is touch the shiny wheel. So that's a real no-no, so I often hold my hand like that when I'm showing kids, for instance. What happens is it just creates an interruption in the rosin that's on the wheel, and that will sound awful. So I'll give you a run through on the strings. We've got a trumpet string here, and how to engage them and disengage them is what we really need to look at. I'll just turn that a little bit there. You can see there's a couple of hooks on here. So I'm lifting it. This is a little buzzer that makes your buzzing sound. It's a little bridge that's under tension, which you adjust with these two here, and you'll get the knack of all this. It looks all daunting, but once you start researching it all a little bit and mucking about yourself with it, you'll understand how it all works. So we've got a little, you'll see there's a small black little peg there. So if you want that off, you just click it around like that, the string. So it's off, and then back on. Back off. And on this one here, the next one, there's a little one you lift up. It goes like that. So that's on and off. The three main melody strings, you can see they run through the peg box. They just lift on and off to the little notches on these pegs here. So the three of those lift on and off. Usually when you play hurdy-gurdy in general, you'll either use just one or two drones and one melody string, but you can combine these for different sounds like fifths and fourths and things like that to get nice rich sounds. So they just lift onto those pegs. This, on the main low drones here, you can see, I'll just move that so you can see it. You can see there's these little brass things here. These adjust, they not only do you lift them on and off with that, they also adjust the drones, which can give you a bit of a volume control. So at the moment they're disengaged. So when we put them on, we just, a finger on each side like that. You can't really see from there, but I'll go like that. Finger on each side, and you'll see there's a little groove in the brass little screw there that you can turn in and out. I'll give you a run through on the different sounds. So this is, I usually have this string engaged most of the time. It's one I use a lot, which is, what is it? It's an A3. Yep, A3. So I'll just give that a little turn. This is one of the trumpets that makes the buzzing sound when you want to use it. Which is a big part of playing hurdy-gurdy, is combining that buzz with the melody. So if I give you that, that's that one. So this one, put them both together. That's an E4. I'll play it on its own. A little bit of a higher buzz. So a nice sound to start with for you when you first started. I'll have it basically left with that drone on there, and I'll probably put all the strings on here, but lift them all, leave them as they are. But no matter how it comes anyway, just set up the trumpet, the orange string, and this first string here, which is your lowest string, which is a E3. So you've got your tuning pegs up the other end, which are all geared, just like machine heads on a guitar. So when I stop, you can hear the sympathetic strings resonating, which is great. but I'll run through the tuning. I'll send you the tuning on all that. So if you just, this is a nice setup to start with. And when you first have a muck around yourself, play on the bottom row of our keys. And how they work is you'll see I've got the hurdy-gurdy on a bit of an angle downwards, because the keys just slide in and out and they drop away from gravity from the string. Then I can add another drone to that, which is this one here is the equivalent of what the orange string is, but it's an octave lower. And sometimes when you use drones, they don't take up straight away with the wheel. Not all the time, but sometimes. And all you do is give them a little flick if they don't. Like exactly like I did then. I can adjust them in and out a little bit. That's a really basic sound that you can get out of it, which is a beautiful sound. So if I take that E off, then we go a low G. Sorry, which is actually a low A. It's all fun and games. Look, just don't get overwhelmed at all at the start, because we all do when we first start. They're not like getting a guitar and just grabbing it off the shelf. You've got to be able to know little tweaks to do a little bit sometimes, even when you're playing. But it's all a part of it, and it's all a learning game. So what we've got here is a high melody E. The only reason those squeaks were happening is I haven't got it angled down enough, which when it's on my lap, it will do that. I'll show you a diagram. I'll send you a diagram on how to have it on your lap. You always have a strap, like a guitar strap, connected to your different strap buttons. You can just set it up how you like. But you've got to have it fairly snug against your body, and one way to have it in a nice position is to sort of drop your left knee down a little bit, and it'll sit it like this, which is a much better way for it to operate. You can hold it against your body that way vertically and play. And when you are playing, you can also see the keys. If I just coming through there, as you press them, you'll see them coming through. So it gives you a little bit of a good indication of what you're doing on notes when you're first starting. After a while, wouldn't be long and you won't even be looking at it, but that's it's a nice way to start. What else? I'll show you the ultra low drone, which is a really low E. Got here, which is a tenor drone, which is what is it? It's a low A. Okay, some of the combinations you can play with are, say the two low melody strings, which will give you fifths. Which is a nice, some of the Turkish sounding stuff sounds beautiful with that. And you can play in octaves, which is quite a nice sound. It's really good if you're in a room where there's a background noise, it'll really cut through. Your pickup's not on there at the moment, I'm just about to fit that. Just Velcro's on it, just a piezo type of thing. You need to run that into a little mixing desk or something like that works as a preamp. I'm sure you're aware of all that sort of setup. Then you can run some of your guitar effects through it or whatever. They sound incredible with different effects. I was trying to think what else I can show you at the moment. Oh yeah, well, the adjustment on the bridge. The three things with hurdy-gurdies, if there are a problem, and there will be problems because it's all part of playing hurdy-gurdies, you'll get things happen and you'll think, what the hell's going on there? What can I do? How do I fix that? Well, there's what we call in the Gurdy world the Holy Trinity, which is rosin, cotton. You'll see the cotton that's wrapped around the string. You'll learn how to put that on. It's not that hard. I'll send you a video link to that, and I'll also send you a video link to applying rosin onto the wheel. So the Holy Trinity is the right rosin, the right cotton, and the right string pressure. So in the olden days with hurdy-gurdies, we used to lift the strings up and down with little shims underneath here. But now we're using, you'll see on your bridge, it's got some thumb screws down in there that lift the bridge up and down. Even changes in temperature sometimes can make that change a little bit. It's very normal. You might come out one morning and your Gurdy's a little bit harsh or not as loud. You can adjust the bridge up and down, but only do it in minute adjustments. This Gurdy particular one's very, very stable. You'll probably find you won't really ever adjust it, but it's there if you need to, which is great. Yeah, your trumpet, your bass drones, I'll show you a little bit of that before, which is if I take everything off, I'll just put one of the drones on, and I'll take them off. So put one of the drones on. You see if I wind this little screw out, yeah, that's right. I'll take it out till see it's almost off, which is nice sometimes. You can get them to use harmonics and things with them. So what you want is just enough that's not too harsh. If we go in too loud, too close, you'll see it starts bending and a bit too harsh. So if you bring it out a little bit more, it's sort of nice there, just operating nice. It's very much like using a cello bow on a cello. Your pressure can do all sorts of different effects. And even using the, even that's changing, just giving a little flick. And while we're there, I'll just give you a little quick, I'll probably come and visit you in July if you're up for that, and I can be much better in person if I can run through a few things with you. I'll give you a little quick lesson on the buzzing, which is, so just move that down a little bit if I can. Yeah, there we go. You'll see the tune, you can't see the whole crank at the moment, but basically if you accelerate the crank, the string will buzz. So what I'm doing there is I've got my thumb. You'll see the hand grip I've got there too. I'll send you illustration on that. But say I wanted to buzz once, right? So I sort of threw it down with my hand. I'll just try and get a bit more. Try and lift that up a bit. That's better. Yeah. Put that there. Just quick adjustment. So what I'm doing, I'm just running my thumb, imagine I'm turning it by just holding the knob in the palm of my hand, and then I wrap my fingers around. I've got 2 fingers holding the knob there, and the thumb is in the middle there. So the first buzz I'll do will be the thumb giving it a little flick. Right, just like that. Right. And on the bottom one, I'm just flicking my fingers, pulling it up. Sort of like muting a guitar a little bit. So if you go, so you can, really good players can do up to 16 buzzes in one turn. I'm not a fantastic player, but I can show you a little bit of it. See, I'm getting those little buzzes in there. Good players can get them much cleaner than that I'm just mucking about here. If I concentrated for a little while, I might be able to get them a bit better. But yeah, basically that's all practice, and combining it with playing the melody is the trick. So. Okay, now what else? I'll just quickly show you a little bit about find the right tool. Where is that? Anyway, I don't need to actually show you the tool. What it is, you've got you'll see all the little tangents in the key chest. They can all be adjusted for intonation, and they can be adjusted back and forth if one of them was buzzing on a string or something, an unwanted sound. So you won't need to do a hell of a lot of that, but if you need to, you can. I'll show you the nitty-gritty of all that when I see you sometime. But it really would be, I'm coming in July for 2 weeks from, I think, around the 8th, I think. Look, I'm only up in Berwick and I go to the city all the time, so I'm happy to, be great to catch up anyway, and I'll drop in and run you through everything. But I'm due to send it tomorrow, which is Friday. It's all ready to go. I'll just, over the weekend, while it's getting sent to you, I'll get you through a few other bits of information that you might want to print out. And yeah, the main thing is, mate, just have a bit of fun with it. And if it's, if you need to know anything, just ring me or whatever. Yeah, it's all a learning game. And there's heaps of stuff on YouTube about the maintenance and playing. So you can even get online lessons as well, which is great. But I reckon someone like you like me, you've played guitar all your life or whatever, and probably other instruments, and it's really another version of that. It's just a stringed instrument, so they pretty much all do similar things. So yeah, so enjoy, mate.